It seemed like a short-lived retirement, but ultimately I was retiring my title of dominatrix because of the stigmatization behind the word dominatrix, the job title of dominatrix being a sex worker. But I think that ultimately the clientele that I have already established and new ones that I truly help with their fetishes, they don't look at me like a sex worker. Um, they have a higher respect level for me than that. But this is part of the problem here as well, is that um, advocating for kinks and fetishes to change societal stigma surrounding it, it goes hand in hand with the stigma surrounding my job title as a dominatrix. So if I'm getting disrespected or getting, you know, judged or analyzed wrongfully, and I'm the person that's providing the service to the people with these kinks and fetishes, of course they're going to feel even more stigmatized themselves about what they're doing and judged and feel like it's something that is wrong and they should be embarrassed about. So ultimately, I guess I just can't change it. I can't change how society is going to judge me or wrongfully assume about me as a dominatrix because, quite frankly, sex worker is such an umbrella term. Do you know it even encompasses a sex therapists? Now, a sex therapist has to go through years and years of university, um, and yet they will be plumed underneath that umbrella term of sex worker because some sex therapists have some hands-on styles of therapy. And if it's a hands-on style of therapy and you're a sex therapist, you're a sex worker. It's ludicrous um, to have like everything from a person standing on a street corner selling their body for $20 for their next fix of heroin um, under the same stigma as an university educated person. But that's ultimately what it boils down to. So, yes, I am here to stay. Mistress Suzanne is here to stay because it has definitely helped show my clientele that I have versatility, which most of my current clients and longtime clients already knew that. But anybody new that finds me, if they're not ready to engage in a role play, maybe they're not ready to act out a fantasy just yet. Maybe they are trying to first understand their fetishes and understand the kink and maybe the psychology behind it. Now they at least know that I have that ability as well to provide that type of service where we can start by exploring that, talking about that. And I do have a background in counseling. I do have a background working with youth at risk and working in crisis management and working in addictions. So all of these things do go hand in hand because, it's a known fact that 99% of my clientele, pretty much, especially at night, are all under the influence of either drugs or alcohol. Why? Because it takes that for them to be able to break down the wall of embarrassment to actually get involved in what they enjoy. So, this is why around New Year's Eve every single year, my business just plummets right after New Year's because everybody thinks it's some type of a disease or something they can get over, some type of bad habit when it comes to their sexual desires. It's not a drug you're putting into your body. I like to compare it really to cravings of food even. You can compare fetishes to cravings of food. Simple. I mean, I've been trying myself not to eat as much as many carbs, as much bread. But I am a sucker for Cobb's bread. Yes, there's a little plug for your business. Cobb's bread has the best apricot raisin loaf ever. Reminds me of the way my mom used to make raisin bread when I was a kid. And, I have been thinking about it actually, funny enough, lately, big time. And unsuccessfully tried to go and buy a loaf and got there right at the end of the day. They were already closed, and the other location was sold out of that particular type of bread. So I've tried to replace my craving by eating other things that are kind of close, but nothing is comparing to that loaf of bread. And so no matter what I do, my body is telling me I want that loaf of bread. And I'm going to end up buying that loaf of bread. And maybe after I eat a whole loaf to myself, I'll be good again for a few months. And that's exactly how fetishes work. People are not into fetishes every single day, usually.